Queen City, Charlotte. Beautiful piece of art right here. And no, Pepsi is not paying me. I'm just a small YouTuber. Shout out to the artist Switch 19. Y'all go follow this artist if you're on social media. I'm not sure if it's Instagram or Twitter, but Switch 19, SWYCH and the number 19. But yeah, this is fresh. Good morning, everyone. It's your boy P9 and I'm reporting live. Finally made it here in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. And I am here at the South End district of the city. So right here is the Lowe's office building, and Lowe's is actually headquartered in Mooresville, North Carolina, which is a suburb of Charlotte. So that's where the Lowe's home improvement store is located, or is headquartered rather. But I am here in the South End district of Charlotte, and the South End, it is a former industrial section of Charlotte. It's where the first rail line of Charlotte began. It ran from Charlotte, again, South End districts, the first part of Charlotte where there was a railroad line. And it ran to cities such as Columbia and Charleston, South Carolina, back in the 1850s. So as you would imagine, this was an industrial area. A lot of these buildings that you see that are restaurants and apartment buildings, they used to be abandoned warehouses, or they were warehouses and factories back during the time where, you know, the railroad activity was real heavy during the 1850s. So after several decades of non-use, these buildings were abandoned. But just like a lot of cities that have abandoned buildings and things of that nature, this area was revitalized in an urban renewal back in 2007 when investors bought these buildings, and now it is what it is today. So now I'm on like a little walking trail. So also you can bike over here as well. And not too long ago, what you guys saw was the CATS transit systems light rail. And Charlotte is actually the first city that I did a vlog in the South where it has a light rail system. This is the first city that I've vlogged in with a light rail. So the CATS is short for Charlotte Area Transit System. Oh, that's neat right here. Wow, they have a rail trail chalkboard. Is any chalk in here? I don't see any chalk. Interesting. But apparently people will grab chalk and then they'll write their name on this board right here. What inspires you? Hashtag rail trail chalkboard at rail trail CLT. So these are just their social media handles right there. But this is my first time in a long time. Let me put it to you like that. This is my first time in a long time that I've been to Charlotte. I mean, I visited Charlotte a long time ago. This is the first time I've been to this particular part. So it's been probably 10 years since I've last visited Charlotte. But so far it's a relaxing morning as we're closing in on 9 o'clock a.m. But yeah, it's like a lot of local businesses and little shops, cafes, the whole nine. And it's just south of downtown in the main drag. I'm walking down the rail trail now, but the main drag of South End is Camden Avenue. Of course, there's a lot of cross streets and things of that nature, but one of the major streets is Camden Road. I think I'm gonna walk the rail trail into downtown, or excuse me, Uptown Charlotte. In Charlotte, downtown is known as Uptown. You know, most cities, the central portion of the city is known as downtown, but in Charlotte, it's referred to as Uptown. So the locals would probably correct you. If you say downtown Charlotte, they'll probably tell you, no, it's Uptown Charlotte. So I found that very interesting. As you can see, the skyline of downtown. And for those who are wondering why Charlotte is referred to as the Queen City, or is nicknamed the Queen City, is because it was named after Queen Charlotte of Mecklenburg. So basically the wife of King George III of Great Britain. And it was originally called Charlottetown to honor the Queen, but they shortened it to Charlotte, and basically that's how it got its name. See, this building right here is called Charlotte Trolley. So I guess there were trolleys that ran through Charlotte as well. And here's a interesting little sculpture right here, or it's really more so, it seems more so like a shelter. You might be able to go under there to get some shade if it gets too hot, which is still early in the day. It's warm. Go ahead and cross over here. Again, here goes one of the light rail trains. This particular station is called Bland. It's called Bland Station, B-L-A-N-D.
Please stand clear. Doors are closing. Train is about to move.
And then you also have your bikes right here. It's called the Charlotte Joyrides. You can actually get you a bike for $30 a day for a Joy Pass, or you can get a 30-minute session for $5. And they're, you know, electrical bikes. Sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. So the Blue Cross Blue Shield seems like they sponsor these bicycles in multiple states and cities. I always thought that was pretty dope. This looks like a seesaw. It looks like a seesaw. I'm not sure what that is. It's nice though.
This station is under video surveillance.
Esta estación cuenta con vigilancia por cámaras de video.
Here goes the fare machines right here for the links. So the light rail is actually called the links. And there goes the map to all of the stations that are on this particular line, which is the blue line. I think I'm gonna walk into Uptown. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk into Uptown on the rail trail and catch the light rail back to South End to retrieve my vehicle. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Seems like a fair exchange. And this building right here is the South End Station. That's what I saw at the end of it. So this looks like this was more than likely a railroad depot back in the 1850s and early 1900s. And once it fell into disuse, of course, like a lot of these buildings around here, over time they were converted and turned into restaurants and bars. And this one's a billiards establishment, Slate Billiards, Rose. And Charlotte's another one of those fast-growing cities too. We mentioned Atlanta and Nashville, but Charlotte, is definitely up there, one of the fastest growing cities in the nation, for sure in the South. And I can see why. It's a beautiful city. I mean, go some apartments over here, conveniently located right next to the light rail. I'm gonna walk over here real quick and I'm gonna come back to that same path. I just spotted a really nice piece of artwork, a nice mural that I want to get. As I'm walking down Bland Street. Remember, that was the name of the station. It was called Bland Station. So see Bland and College Street right here. Right here is a tavern known as Tavern on the Tracks, and on the side of it you have some really interesting and nice pieces of art. As you can see right here, I don't know what that is, honestly. It looks like a blue bird, I'm not sure. I know this is a crown right here. It symbolizes Charlotte's name of the Queen City, as I mentioned earlier. And I also want to give these people their shout outs, the artists who put together this dope artwork. It says hashtag Bills Mafia at Tavern Tracks NYC in Charlotte. Okay. And has Billy's name in a heart. Okay, nice. And I also want to come over here, and if you check out this particular artwork right here, this was former NFL linebacker and Carolina Panthers legend Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly was a bad boy. They called him Cool Hand Luke. He was one of the most ferocious linebackers I've ever seen play, and I've seen a lot of them play. You know, Brian Urlacher, you know, Lawrence Taylor was before my time, but I've seen footage of him, and you know, of course, Ray Lewis, but Luke Kuechly was special. That's him right here. So it's half of his face and half of the Panthers face. And of course, it has the Brickyard, kind of like similar to how the Carolina Panthers have their logos, the same stylized letters. And also we got to make sure we get the 59. We got to get the legend right here. And it's right on the Brickyard. And let me go ahead, and before I go, let me get the social media tags of the individuals who put this together. Probably can't see it too good from here, but one of them is at Puck McGruff, and the other one is at Hooker Media. That's Hooker Media, Hooker. gonna make my way back to the rail trail. But right here is Tryon Street, which is major main highway or main road that goes through downtown. As you can see, as we walk down here, see the different colored pylons. That line the sidewalk on top of this mulch right here. And they also have the same setup on this side of the tracks, on the other side of the tracks. I'm not sure if that's a hotel or a condo.
Been between about 7.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop it for now, and once I get uptown, I'm gonna continue. Well guys, I'm walking across College Street on the College Street overpass. This overpass is over Interstate 277 as I'm approaching Uptown. You can actually feel the vibrations underneath your feet from all these cars passing by on the highway. It's a really nice view. A lot of the city buildings. It's a couple of hotels on this side, residential buildings. It's an office building right here. They got the Duke Energy Tower right over here, and the Bank of America Tower is over there. Bank of America is headquartered here in Charlotte. And they have another office building what looks like, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's Deloitte, D-E-L-O-I-T-T-E. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but those who know, know what that is. So we are right here in the heart of Uptown Charlotte. Westin Hotel over here. Guys, this building right here is called the Levine Center for the Arts. The Levine Center for the Arts. So similar to how Atlanta's Woodruff Arts Center is, this is a complex of different venues, and again, it's called the Levine Center of Arts. But this particular section of the complex is the Harvey B. Gantt Center, and as you can see, there goes beautiful piece of art right here. I believe the Gantt Center is an African American museum.
The way that I would think about it.
Construction going on right here. That's been the theme for pretty much every city I've done a vlog in as of late. New construction, especially in these you know, fastly growing cities. As you saw in my previous videos with Nashville and Atlanta, same thing going on here in Charlotte. So again, right where I'm at is on Brooklyn Village Avenue. Construction crew is working real hard around the clock. Get those buildings built. I definitely admire blue collar work. The blue collar workers, shout out to y'all out there. I myself is a blue collar worker, so I respect. The blue collar is definitely the fabric of this country. What keeps this country going, so shouts out to the blue collar workers. We're at the corner of Brooklyn Village and Church Street. This is the Bank of America Stadium right here, home of the Carolina Panthers of the NFL. Now, the Panthers franchise has been in the NFL since 1995, if I'm not mistaken. It was the mid-90s when they came in. They were an expansion team. I was a little kid when that happened. But yes, that's when the Carolina Panthers came into the NFL as an expansion team, which brought the first ever professional football team to not only Charlotte, but the whole state of North Carolina. So I believe they came in around the same time that the Jacksonville Jaguars came in as an expansion team. Interestingly enough, they're both part of the cat family. Jaguars and the Panthers. But this is the Bank of America Stadium. A lot of greats played for the Carolina Panthers in its relatively short history. They've been in the NFL now for going on 30 years. And the president of the Carolina Panthers from 94 and 97, NFL Hall of Fame inductee 1984, Cleveland Browns 1954 to 1962. This is Mike McCormick statue of him right in front of the stadium. And let me go ahead and get the famous Panther statue right here. As you can see. And right here is just a lot of individuals, I guess, who contributed to the structure or the construction of this particular statue. And there's another one over here as well. Let me go ahead and turn around. I also have some nice flowers and nicely manicured lawns right here in front of the stadium. Groundskeepers definitely do their thing, for sure. They definitely do their thing. I'm not gonna step on that grass, but I can read from over here. This marker commemorates the Good Samaritan Hospital from 1891 to 1961. So the site where the stadium is on right now used to be the first independent private hospital in North Carolina, built exclusively for African Americans, established by Jane Renwick Smedberg Wilkes of St. Peter's Episcopal Church. It is one of the oldest black hospitals then in operation in the US. So yeah, this is the first independent private hospital in North Carolina built exclusively for African Americans, and I'm standing right here on the site. And they built us. Now they have a big stadium right here sitting on the site. Pretty dope. Here goes Sam Mills. He was a linebacker. He played for the Carolina Panthers from 1995 through 1997. So he was one of the original Carolina Panthers when they first came into the NFL. Sam Mills. The Panthers, almost 10 years ago, the Panthers came really close to winning their first Super Bowl. They actually made two Super Bowls. They went to the Super Bowl in 2003 and they went again in 2015. And 2015 was Cam Newton's like MVP season. And also what I wanted to add is that between, I'd say a 15-year time frame between 2002 and 2017, it's like each of the 4 members of the NFC South division made it to the Super Bowl, but only 2 out of those 4 teams actually won at least one Super Bowl, and that was in 2002 it was the Buccaneers, and 2009 it was the New Orleans Saints, and 2015 is when the Panthers made the Super Bowl and came up short against the Broncos, and it was 2016, the year after that, is when the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, and then they suffered a heartbreaking loss to the New England Patriots. I mean, that was, I'm still, almost 10 years later, I'm still reeling over that. I just wanted to add that in there. The NFC South did have a nice run within those 15 years. To all my football fans out there, anyway, to all my subscribers who are football fans, know what I'm talking about. I like this right here, this little display that they have right here in the front. It's LED display they have in front of the stadium. And honestly, I didn't even know that Charlotte even has a soccer team. A Major League Soccer team plays right here in this stadium, Bank of America Stadium. I had no idea that Charlotte even had a Major League Soccer team, but I'm not surprised either, because Major League Soccer has been expanding its brand across the United States. So that's pretty cool. But I definitely had to get the stadium. Definitely had to get the stadium. It's located on Mint Street. And there goes the team store where you can get all your Carolina Panthers gear. Over here. Also in your Charlotte Football Club gear as well. So they were established, according to the logo, it looks like they were established in 2022. So yeah, it's only been 2 years. I'm not that far behind the 8 ball.